Hey ladies. Okay, so today in the challenge group, we're talking about struggles that we have, and we want for you to be sharing them so that other people can benefit from the tips that you receive from the rest of the group. So, for instance, if you are struggling with time management, like Elizabeth commented this morning, she talked about that. And then the idea is for the rest of us to say, hey, there's this really great book on time management that I read, or here's this podcast that I think would be really good, or whatever, or here's a good tip. So definitely think about what you're struggling with. Don't be shy. It's a judgment-free zone. Drop it in the comments of the morning post, and then like it's over there. And then, anyways, and then the rest of us can all help you. And then if someone else happens to be struggling in that area, they can also benefit from those tips. So I decided to make a video on Elizabeth's struggle of time management because I feel like, number one, that's something that most people do struggle with, I myself included, and number two, because I have been looking into that subject lately, and I have found what I think are some really, really, really good tips that can be implemented immediately, and I thought it's so much easier to convey in video to you guys, so I just want to talk about them for a few minutes, and then hopefully you will start using these tips immediately, like today, because if you don't, then you might forget about them, and then, you know, a couple weeks go by or months or whatever, and then you go, oh, shoot, I really want to work on time management. Where were those tips? And you're not going to remember. So if you just start implementing them right now and then they become a habit, and then everything's awesome. So these are 3 things that you can start today and you don't need anything for, super easy. So the first tip is to have a morning ritual. And that does not matter whether you are a single gal, you are a parent, you are married, you work at 3 a.m. or you don't have to work until noon, or you work in the home, or you commute, or you travel, or whatever your day looks like for you, your family, or your work, or whatever, it doesn't matter. You can have a morning ritual, and you should. And also, a lot of people think when they hear about a morning ritual, they have this idea, and I myself have done this, you have this idea of what a perfect morning would look like, and it would have all of these steps, and it would be so great. But you know what? Life happens. Life gets in the way. Kids wake up early, whatever. And you can't complete all the tasks, and then you feel like a failure. So your morning rituals should not have a bunch of bullet points. It should just have maybe like 3 things. And that can vary depending on what will work for you. But you just want to have a couple things so that you're not starting the day in chaos. If you just start the day and you don't have a morning ritual, then you are starting from scratch in this like tornado every single morning. You wake up and it's like, well, what am I going to do? You know, but having that ritual as a go-to, then it starts your day off on the right foot and you feel like you're in control. Well, you are in control. So some ideas, what that could look like is as soon as I get out of bed, I head to the kitchen, or you can leave it on your nightstand, but my cat will jump up there, so I don't do it. But I head into the kitchen and I drink a very tall glass of water, and then I fill it back up and I drink another one. So it should be hydrating. That should be in your morning ritual because we lose so much water while we're sleeping. I think I heard like a pound of water or something. So anyways, it could be drinking water. It could be drinking an ACV shot if you do that. I can't. It could be having a green smoothie or having your Shakeology or something right when you wake up, a healthy breakfast or whatever. And then maybe it's writing down your goals for the day or reading a devotional or reading an inspiring quote and maybe writing that down so that you take it in more. Maybe it's checking the news if that works for you. Maybe it's checking your email. I wouldn't recommend that because from what I've heard is once you check your email, then a lot of times there's tasks in there for you. And then you may start doing that and it derails you from the rest of your day because you haven't said, okay, now I'm going to sit down and work. If you just happen to see it and then you're like, oh geez, I saw that. I better do this. I better respond to this. And then that takes over. So I wouldn't recommend that. It could also mean a workout or maybe just like 3 sun salutations or a nice stretch for 5 minutes or whatever. But those are just some ideas. So I would choose at least one thing that you're gonna do right when you wake up would be hydrating, but maybe like 3 things and make a little morning ritual. And I'm sorry, my allergies, my nose is itching so bad. It doesn't have to be complicated and it shouldn't be complicated. So make a morning ritual. I have notes here. The second thing is, okay, so time management. That will start your day off well, right? Now, we all have things that we want to accomplish throughout the day or throughout our week or whatever. Okay, if you start your day and you go, okay, well, I see that there's some dishes there and I need to pick this up, and you keep getting distracted by other things. So what you need to do is choose just 2, 3, or 4 things that you want done that day, whether it's a project that you've been putting off, something you need to do, some paperwork you need to fill out, whatever. That does not have to do with household things that are just constantly rotating. Things that you want to get done / need to get done. Write them down, 2 to 4 things, and do them first thing in the morning. I mean, after your morning ritual, but do them as one of the first things you do in the day. Because if you say, okay, for instance, one thing that I need to do today is I have a whole packet for a new doctor that I'm going to go to, and it's like a dozen pages. I need to fill it out, and my appointment's in a week and a half, but I said today I want to get that filled out, so it's off my plate. If I say, I'm going to fill it out later after Macy gets home from school, well, you know what? Stuff can come up, and then I might go, well, I don't need it till the 23rd. My appointment is until then, so I'll just do it on Thursday or whatever. And it can keep getting pushed off if you say, I'm going to do it later in the day. So just whatever your things are that you want to get done for that day, whatever for this time management that you want to work on, do them first thing in the first part of the day, whether that's before work or if it's a task at work, do it right when you get to work. Getting them done will assure that they get done. If you, like I said, if you get derailed by dishes and then that thing doesn't get done and it keeps getting pushed off, you're going to feel like crap. But if you get this thing done later in the day, the dishes are sitting there, you're going to do them anyways. Come on, you know you're going to, because they're going to be sitting there bugging you. You're not going to say, oh, I'll do those on Thursday. You're going to do them anyways. But if you do the dishes now and that other thing doesn't get done, you will push it off. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. The third thing is to be okay with saying no. Things are going to pop up. People are going to ask you to do things, and that's not to say that you shouldn't help other people out or that you should be selfish, but a lot of time as women in general, we tend to, want to help people and we don't want to say no and whatever. And what happens is that also takes over our day and it derails our plans because we have to help this person or find this for this person or whatever. So work on being okay with saying no, because you're a priority too, and your family and your sanity is a priority. So if you just can't, you don't have to be mean about it. I'm so sorry, I wish I could, but I can't right now. And you don't need to give any sort of explanation. You don't need to defend yourself. Just say no in a kind way, and then you will be able to keep your time management as you want it to be. I can't find the words right now. Anyways, so those are the 3 tips. That would be a morning ritual that is simple and just a few things. And then also whatever you want to get done for the day, do them first thing in the day so that they don't keep getting pushed off, and be okay with saying no. I think those 3 tips are really awesome and we can all do them, and I hope that this helps you. Okay, so have a great Tuesday.